What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, my name is Letitia, and on this channel we do a lot of home decor, DIYs, as well as some lifestyle, as in vlogs and stuff like that. But in today's video, we are back in the kitchen and we are about to tackle these two cupboards behind me. So what I want to do is I want to organize this spice cupboard, as well as move all of my teas over to this cupboard here and just have this solely for all of my teas. Now, unfortunately, I did buy 2 containers for my teas, and I got these from Kick, but both of them have these, I don't know if you guys can see it yet. Both of them have a crack on the back of it or the bottom of it. So I'm going to return those. Hopefully they take them back because I really don't want damaged items. And I didn't notice them. That was my bad, but I'm going to take them back and hopefully they exchange them for something else, you know, ones that aren't broken. And I did also buy all of the large jars from Kick as well. Those were very, very inexpensive, guys. The large jar, very large one, was under €3. So I saved a lot with all of them, and I think I bought 7 of the large, 2 of the medium, and 2 of the small, and all of them came under €30. So you understand, it's a saving. It's the savings for me. The spice jars that I have that I'm going to be using mainly for my spices, those came from Amazon, as well as the little ladder that came from Amazon as well. And I don't know if I'm going to be using the labels off of those, but maybe I might. But I'm also going to show you guys how I created my own labels using my Canva. This video was not sponsored by Canva. I just always use Canva for my pictures and stuff like that. When I'm making my covers for my videos, I always use Canva. So I decided to use Canva to make my labels as well, and they came out very, very good. The only thing I'm waiting on is my glossy sticky paper from Amazon. I decided to go with that instead because I did print out some that are on regular paper, and I was just going to use a large clear tape to stick it on, but I changed my mind and I said, just for it to be a lot more aesthetically pleasing to my eyes, I'm going to use a sticky paper so it just looks a lot better to me. So I'm waiting on that, but I'm going to show you guys right now how I create my labels using Canva. The Canva app offers a free option, so that's what I'm using. I'm going to start off by choosing my paper size, which is the A4. Then I'm going into elements and choosing a square. Of course, I'm going to make it more rectangle-ish, but if you guys want exact measurements, definitely do that. You can go ahead and put in the exact measurements, length and width for your label. Then I'm going to also add some text. You can choose whatever you want your label to look like. This is just how I designed mine. If you want to go ahead and use this design, that is fine by me. I did create it, but I was also inspired by it from a Pinterest picture. So go ahead and just let your imagination run free. Now, you don't have to have the frame. You can actually just use that to cut out your label, or just to help guide you for cutting out your label. But I am going to leave the frame on it because I do like the black frame around my label. So this just means bay leaf in English, but of course I'm writing all my labels in German because I'm in Germany. So I've already chosen how I want my fonts to look. So I'm just going to jazz it up a little more by adding a line above the word, above the middle word and below the middle word, just to make it look fancy. You don't even have to do that. I just chose to do that, and to me it looks really, really nice. Now, for you to copy everything together, you're going to have to hold one of the images and just go ahead and click every other image and then just press duplicate. and then you can just go ahead and change that middle word into whatever spice you are labeling as, and that is basically it. Of course, before we even use these containers, we have to disinfect them. So I'm going to wash all of my bottles in some hot, and when I say hot, I mean hot soapy water. And then I'm going to rinse them out, lean them down to dry, of course. And then I'm going to turn them back over so that they can finish air dry on the inside. I did leave this overnight, but if you guys just want to go ahead and take a nice clean towel and hand dry them, you can do that as well. I just chose to let them air dry. I saw a lady use her strainer to rinse her covers, so that's exactly what I did, and it is a very good hack. It's much easier than trying to rinse all of them one by one. I am so funny when it comes to running water that I had to cut the water on low so that I didn't feel like I was wasting water. It's a mind thing. First things first, I'm going to remove every single thing from this cupboard. Only this one. I'm not removing the one that has the teas inside it because my tea containers are broken, so I have to return those. So that's going to be done later on down. But I did remove everything from this cupboard first and moved over my teas into the other cupboard so that I can deal with that at a later date. I decided to vacuum before just going in with a wet cloth because I didn't want to deal with a gunky mess. Make sure you vacuum first, because if you take something wet and put it onto dirt, you just create a gunky mess that just could be avoided. So all I did was vacuum and then wiped it down with some cleaning detergent and a napkin. I did go ahead and measure and cut my mat off camera, but I just measured it with a ruler and then cut it with a scissors and placed that on the floor of the cupboard. And I hope that this helps with the slippage. I do not want to place glass inside there and it slides around, so that was the reason I put a mat down, because the mat has these little bubbles on it, so hopefully it helps the glass not slide around. So I'm going to start off by placing things that I don't need to put in a container back inside the cupboard. So this could help me with some space on that table, because you already see that it's a lot of spices. I didn't realize that I had so many spices, but I do. So I'm just going to take the ones that I don't really need to put in another container and place those back inside there, and then we're going to get into putting the other ones into these containers, trying to make this cupboard look nice. I did end up placing the labels that came with the jars on the lid because I am the type of person that would forget exactly what seasonings are in which bottles. So to avoid that, all I did was put the labels on the lids until my paper reaches, and then I can print everything out and change everything over and it'll look nice and pretty. But for right now, it's not bothering me at all. Like the black paper it's fine. I don't have a problem with it. My problem was not being able to see what was inside my cupboard, and those black labels, they're helping me. At this moment, they're helping me. But I had to label those containers because I would not remember what was what. And I didn't want to risk that. As you can see, I'm working in force and I'm placing the bottles behind the containers so that I remember what they are, because I would not remember what is what. The labels also came with some of these blank labels because they did not give or offer all of the spice names. So I'm just going to write the spices that they didn't offer me onto the labels. But I could have sworn there was supposed to be a white marker that came with the jars, but apparently there wasn't one. So I'm just using what I have. Like I said, I'm going to be doing these labels over anyway. So I'm just going to put it there so that I remember what that is. Sorry that my hand is in the way. It's just that I decided to take a seat, y'all, because this was some work, okay? This was a lot of work. So if you guys have a chair, pull up a chair to your table or your countertop and just go ahead and start adding those spices into the other containers, because trust me, this was some work. All right. This was the only spice, my Simt. Simt in English is cinnamon. This was the only spice that was giving me a hard time just pouring from one bottle to the next, so I made me a homemade funnel. It did get all over the place, as you can see the dust flying all over the place, but I made me a homemade funnel and that helped. And that was literally the only spice that I had to do that for, the cinnamon. The only one. Everything else just was easy to transfer from one container to the next. I decided to place my spices in alphabetical order on the tray, so that is why you see me moving back and forth, because I didn't put them in alphabetical order before actually adding them to the tray. Why? I don't know. But I just, needed the exercise. I guess my hands were getting a very good workout. But I decided to put them in alphabetical order. Do you guys put yours in alphabetical order, or you just throw them right back on the rack and say, what I'm looking for, I'll find? But I did put them in alphabetical order so that it will be a lot easier for me when I'm actually looking for my spice. I know, weird, right? The top shelf is mainly spices that I wanted to leave in their original containers. For example, my Gemüse Brühe, that's vegetable broth, the dry broth. I decided to leave those in their containers because they're in a dark glass and they must have them in a dark glass for a reason, so I wasn't sure. So I left those inside their original glasses. The other spices are just refills or leftovers that couldn't fit in the containers. So I'm just going to add those to the shelf, and to me this looks really nice. So I'm okay with just adding the refills at the top there. It's not bothering me at all. But of course, if you guys want to take your refills and place them somewhere else where you don't have to see them, you can definitely go ahead and do that. But for me, this looked great already. It looks great to me already. So of course, I gotta remind you where we came from. Like, look at this. And then look at where we at now. Like, I still have space to actually grow. Who would have thought? I threw away so many things that was expired. I didn't know I had so many expired stuff inside there. But look at my little pantry cupboard. I am so proud of myself, and I'm so glad that I finally took the time out to organize this spice cabinet. So the video is over. As you guys can see, this spice cupboard just looks amazing. Unfortunately, I don't have my labels as yet, but hopefully before I post this video, I do have them so I can show you how everything looks. If not, I will just give you guys an update in a later video, but it turned out so nicely, and I'm so glad I finally decided to tackle this. So go ahead, like, comment, share, subscribe, everything, all those good things that every YouTuber says to do. I would appreciate it very, very much. I hope you guys enjoyed this channel. And just remember that you don't have to spend a lot of money to actually accomplish this. You can actually go ahead and save up jars. If you have time and it's not a rushed project, go ahead, save up your jars, because they are the jars that we're already buying, just empty. Save those up. Or if you have a little budget, make sure you guys check out stores. I'm not going to say a specific store, even though I was going to say the K word. Check out stores that are very budget friendly and go ahead and create that nice, aesthetically pleasing spice cupboard or pantry that you guys desire. Trust me, guys, you can afford to do it if you do it mindfully and on a realistic budget. Don't go out there trying to accomplish things just because you see somebody else have it. Do it on your own budget and what you can afford. So I did what I could afford. I didn't spend much money. Everything in total came up to under 50 euros. So I definitely did good in that area. I hope you guys enjoyed this video once again, and I will see you in my next one.